Welcome to the podcast, Let the Prophets Speak. Today we continue our study of the second book of Shmuel Bet Samuel 2. We are studying chapter 17 today. And we left chapter 16 with the horrific episode of the advice of Achitofel that he gave to Avshalom to sleep with David's concubines. And a mention of how well-respected Achitofel's advice was among the people of the day. And now we are going to continue with another piece of advice that Achitofel is going to give Avshalom, but this one will be somewhat different. Now, when Achitofel gave that first terrible advice to Avshalom to sleep with his father's concubines, and noted another advisor, right, who was David's mole, Chushai Ha'arki, noticeably didn't speak up. He didn't say, no, that's a terrible idea. By not speaking up, he has gained more credibility. Now Avshalom sees him as someone who is loyal to him, which will help him in this next episode that we're about to read. So Vayomer Achitofel el Avshalom. Achitofel now says to Avshalom a piece of keen advice. Remember, David is now running with his men. At this point, they're running eastward towards the Jordan River through the Judean desert. They are tired. They are hungry. They are disorganized. They are running as refugees. Now is a perfect time to take them out and solidify the leadership of Avshalom. Evcharana, Shneim Aser Elef Ish. Let me choose 12,000 men, which is a relatively small contingent. V'akuma v'erdefa acharei David halayla. And let me run and chase after David tonight. The focus on the night can add additional potency to the attack when we attack under the cover of darkness. V'avo elav, I will come upon him. Hu yageh, he is exhausted. Hu refei yadayim, he is tired. His hands literally means his hands are soft, which means he's disheartened. Is a good translation. He's running. He has the mindset of a refugee now. He's the mindset of one who is on the run, who's being chased, who's in a very weak position. V'hacharadeti oso, and I will cause them to have tremendous fear and panic. V'nos kol ha'am asher ito, everyone that's surrounding David will run. V'hikesi es hamelech levado, and then I will just strike down the king. We can make this a surgical attack by causing mass panic among the people that are supporting him. We can take out the king, and this whole thing could be over with, and you'll be the king. V'yashiva chol ha'am alecha elecha, and I will bring the people back to you. In other words, all of the soldiers that supported him. Kishuv hakol ha'ish asher atam mevakesh kol ha'ami yeshalom. Right? And when everyone comes back, right, the person that you're minus the person who you're searching for, which is your father David, then there will just be peace among the nation. We can get this whole thing over with. We'll take out David, bring back his soldiers, they'll become your soldiers, and this whole thing will be done. Vayishar hadavar be'enei Avshalom, and Avshalom liked this plan, ve'enei kol ziknei Yisrael, and in the eyes of all of the zikanim, of all of the elders of Israel. It was a wise from the perspective of Avshalom, of course, a wise piece of advice from Achitofel to solidify the kingdom. However, Vayomer Avshalom said, Krona gam l'chushai ha'arki, v'nishma'a ma befiv gamhu. Call in the other advisor, who is another one of my father's trusted advisors, Chushai the Arki, who Avshalom now thinks is loyal to him, while he's really just a plant from David. And we can hear what exactly he wants to say as well. Does he like this plan? Does he have another idea? Vayavo Chushai el Avshalom. So Chushai comes to Avshalom, Vayomer, and he says, Vayomer Avshalom elav lemar. And Avshalom says to him as follows: Kadavor hazeh diber Achitofel. This and this was Achitophel's idea. Hanaset varo im ayin. Should we do what his advice was, or should we not? Ato daber. You speak. You tell me what you think. Vayomer Chushai al Avshalom. I want to point out before we read Chushai's advice to Avshalom a couple things about Achitophel's advice. It does seem like a good, solid plan. However, Achitophel mentioned that he is going to lead them. Chushai is going to pick up on this, and this is very important. And you'll understand why in a moment. Chushai says to Avshalom, Lo tova ha'itza asher yo'atz Achitophel b'pam hazos. This time, the advice that Achitophel is giving you is not good advice. Hinting to the fact that, yes, Achitophel gives very good advice. This is just a diplomatic and the way a politician would speak. Yes, your ideas before were very good. I'm not attacking your credibility as an advisor. I'm just saying that this particular piece of advice was not so good. Vayomer Chushai, the first thing Chushai does is he plays up on the sense of fear. You really think, Atoya dato es avicha v'etanashav, right? Don't you know that your father and his people that were with him, ki giborim hema, they are brave, strong, heroic fighters, umore nefesh hema. Right now, they're especially angry. So, in other words, painting a picture that the opposite of what Achitophel was saying. Achitophel is, of course, more correct. They're not disheartened, demoralized. If anything, they're angry and going to fight harder. Kedov shakul basodeh. Like imagine a bear whose children have been taken away from her. She's going to fight like the devil. She's going to fight strong. Right? V'avicha ish milchama. Your father is a well-known warrior. He's certainly earned his stripes in battle. V'lo yolin et ha'am. He's not going to sleep with the people. He's not going to sleep surrounded by his people. So even if you do succeed in making them panic, you won't catch David that way. Clearly, he's hiding in one of the caves somewhere, of which there are many in the Judean desert, which you can see to this day. Or in some other safe place. The first, whoever falls at the first attack, the people will hear. They're gonna the people are gonna say, so you're gonna lose, right? People are gonna on your side are gonna lose, and then everyone's gonna say Avshalom's troops are dying, right? Hu gam ben chayil, and even if he was a brave, strong man, asher libo keleva aryeh, he mesi mas. He, meaning the ones who are supporting you, are going to be disheartened. Ki yodea kol Yisrael ki gibor avicha. Everyone knows that your father is a powerful man. Uvnei chayil asher ito. And the people that are with him are bnei chayil. They're courageous. They're strong. So therefore, this is not a very good plan. This is not going to work, right? Ki yo'atzti, but rather I'm going to give you better advice. Hey asof ye'asef alecha kol Yisrael. You need to make this a powerful attack. Not just the 12,000 soldiers, but you need to gather from all of Israel, Midon v'ad Be'ersheva, all the people from Dan through Beersheba, Dan in the north, Beersheba in the south, Kachol asher halayam larov. So many soldiers like the sand that is on the shores of the sea. Ufanecha holchim mikrav, and you should be the one that lead them. Right here, he's giving advice which is playing on the narcissism of a figure like Avshalom. He knows Avshalom he's painting in Avshalom's mind this grand image of Avshalom himself leading into battle, thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of troops from all over the entire country. These visions of grandeur, visions of greatness of Avshalom. Chushai Arki is very smart and playing to Avshalom's sense of grandness about himself. What military leader doesn't, what dictator doesn't revel in the thought of the marching of thousands of soldiers behind him or in support of him? Uvanu elav bi'achanim makomos shenim sham. And then we can come after him in any of the places where he may be hiding then. V'nachnu alav, and then we will camp upon him. Kasher yipol hatal ala adama, in the same way the dew falls on the earth, will just fall upon them. and no one will be left from his entire group. They will all be gone, all of his people, all of his supporters. And even if he goes and tries to seek refuge, he'll try to seek refuge in a city. All of Israel will be attacking that city. We can come down and tear down the city's walls with ropes, and we could drag them into the river and throw them into the water until not even a pebble will be left of that city. So if we do it with this might and power. So Avshalom is here playing to these visions of grandeur that Avshalom is having very wisely, and showing what could happen and how Avshalom's pride can get, if there's a loss, how it can, in other words, if he takes the risk of taking Achitophel's plan and it goes bad, how he said how Avshalom, your soldiers, no matter how brave they are going to walk around saying about how Avshalom is losing. So don't risk being called a loser. Take my path and you'll definitely be a winner. Obviously, we know that this plan, following this plan, the plan that Chushai is putting forth, also gives David the time to strengthen himself, regroup, put his troops together, find allies to work with, and come back. But this is not something that Chushai obviously is going to say. Chushai, let's see if whose advice he's going to take. Is he going to take Chushai's advice, or is he going to take Achitophel's advice? Vayomer Avshalom chol ish Yisrael. And Avshalom and all the people of Israel said, Tova atzas Chushai ha'arki me'atzas Achitophel. We get the sense that Avshalom went into some kind of a meeting with his advisors without either Chushai or Achitophel there, right? So that they can discuss honestly both points of view, and the people in the committee, the king's council, decided that Chushai's advice was better. And God had commanded, and here is the narrator of the words of the prophet here. The writer of the book says, gives us on a side, apparently God had commanded that Achitophel's good piece of advice should be not taken, in order that God can bring about the downfall of Avshalom eventually. So this we're going to stop here. This is 17a. Thank you for studying this portion of the chapter together. Looking forward to completing chapter 17 and 17b in the next podcast, and of course, completing the entire book of Samuel together.